I want to tell you some things in life that a lot of you don't understand. I'm going to tell you this short story. You don't have any friends anywhere in this world. Some of you that are depending on your family and you shout all over the internet, family first. Your family is not first. If you know what my family did to me, or you've ever read about the stories I wrote about my family on Facebook and the videos here on YouTube, you will know that not everybody has a good family. Some of you have good families now, they're going to turn against you later. If you like, don't believe me. Let me tell you a little story. In my 31 years of journalism, the most important beat that people knew me for, the longest, was music. I was a music journalist, mostly in Canada. The whole 5 years I was in Canada, I did music journalism. Now, in music journalism, you're going to report news about music artists. You're going to report about their albums, their singles. When you're reporting about their music, you're literally promoting them. In those days, we didn't charge them any money. Today, you pay before you can be featured on blogs and stuff. At that point, my work became very visible to some of the big networks. MTV started following me and they partnered with me on projects. BET made me the hip hop correspondent for Canada. And my blog, Hip Hop Sip, was the leading blog in Canada for those 5 years I was there. Now, in 2010, there was a music festival called SWSX, okay, Southwest South X. There was one called Coachella, okay. Coachella was in the US. The SWSX was, it's also a US thing, but they held it in Canada in 2010. And there's so many Essence music festivals and all. I covered a lot of music festivals. I covered Grammys, I covered American Music Awards. I applied for media passes, media credentials for so many, and I did a good job in my music career. When I arrived in Nigeria, most of you didn't know me as a music journalist. I worked at Nigerian Tribune for a year as a music columnist, but most of you got to know me more as an investigative journalist and all that. But in 2010, there was this young man that came to the SWSX Music Festival. He was going to perform. When you have music festivals, remember how they wrote Burner's name very tiny, and Burner was like, "No, I'm the African giant. My name must be big and bold." Usually on the flyers, the people that are headlining are the ones with the big names on top. And then the names become smaller as you see, by the day and how, whatever, how important the artists are. At least that's the way it's seen. The people at the top are the headliners, and then some people, their name will be so tiny at the bottom, upcoming artists or whatnot. So there was this young man that came to me and wanted me to find out more about his music. And we invited him and some others to Young Dundas Square in Toronto to a restaurant, and we all had lunch and we talked about music and all that. I really didn't interview him, but we just like, it was just like a get together thing, the impromptu thing that happened. Because during those festivals, we also go to the Hard Rock Cafe in Toronto, we meet with the artists and stuff. Now, at the end of the day, these festivals are not technically for interviews, for like meeting the artists, we take pictures and all, and go to the show. This one artist was upcoming. He was not even famous yet, but he was with us when we went to eat. We talked about rap, this one, that one, networking. And he performed, and everybody went home. Festival was over. This artist, was really bent on meeting Drake. Drake was just coming up really big at that time. Okay, 2010 was the first OVO, and the first OVO concert. Remember, Drake brought Beyonce out, and we were not expecting it. Anyway, Drake was so big. I met Drake in the Beyonce line in front of the Molson Amphitheater. And from there, I got to interview him 4 times. You've seen all the pictures with Drake. KJ was something like 9 years old at the time. And KJ went to many music events with me. And he got to meet Drake a lot. You've seen all the photos. And today, KJ will be 25 in November. When we look back, I remember everybody that wanted, when Wizkid came to Canada, he wanted to meet Justin Bieber. He got to meet Bieber at that time. And almost like 15 years later, he did a song with Bieber. Bieber appeared on Essence. So, my thing as a journalist, and I was also a music publicist, by the way, I always organize the concerts and hotel and everything for all the ones coming from America. Like I did the Britney Spears and Nicki Minaj Pink Friday tour, Lil Wayne's concert. There were just so many of them that came to Canada. And being the BET hip hop correspondent gave me opportunity to do interviews and all. So this chance meeting where we had lunch and everything before the show, this artist wanted to really, really meet Drake and everything. So, well, we all made it possible. We met Drake. And Drake had this habit of, I'm blowing up. I've not completely blown up yet, but let me blow up somebody next to me. Like he'll bring one random artist to come and open his concert. So Drake asked one of my artists, okay, when I say one of my artists, I was the one doing PR for Warner Brothers Music artists, Wiz Khalifa at that time. You guys don't know anything I've done. You don't even know how big I am in the music business over there. But anyway, I was doing the PR in Canada for Warner Brothers artist, Wiz Khalifa. I was promoting his mixtapes and everything. So when Drake wanted to do his first tour, he asked Wiz Khalifa to come and open for him. Wiz Khalifa refused. Like it shocked everybody. Like the label contacted me. I said I'm promoting his music in Canada. I'm doing my work, but Drake is blowing up faster than all of them. And why would he turn this down? Just open for Drake. I guess pride. Wiz Khalifa said to me that he wanted to build his brand, and that made sense. He wanted to build this brand. I don't want to work under anybody. I don't want to open for anybody. I want to build my brand. Okay, today, look at Wiz Khalifa versus Drake. Both have built their brand, but Drake is way bigger. Lots of Grammys, lots of 22 Grammys, is it? Lots of billboards. He's the one that, broke that record. And Wiz Khalifa, how many awards has he gotten? Probably none when it comes to Grammys and billboards. But at the end of the day, that's not the point. The point remains the branding of artists, okay, to some point depends on going with the one that's really blown. So, where am I going here? So, we introduced this guy to Drake. Drake put him on the tour to open. Now, I was kicked out of Canada in 2012, and that year was Drake's tour. So, this guy agreed to open Drake's 2012 tour. And I had already gone. The tour happened. I was watching it from Nigeria. Da, da, da. And to say that Drake gave this guy an opportunity to blow him up, to give him exposure, is beyond, like, it's beyond understanding. I don't know. This artist is Kendrick Lamar. When we met Kendrick Lamar in 2010 at the music festival, the Southwest Music Festival, and put him on to Drake. Drake had him open the concert. Drake gave him so much opportunities. Kendrick Lamar turned against Drake, and he became the one singing about Drake, calling him a pedophile, saying he has another child. It shocked all of us. You have to see the other side of Canada. I was on Drake's page this morning, and Johnny Rock's page. If you know who Johnny Rocks is, Drake's fitness manager. We all grew up together in those days. These are the people like starting at the bottom, where he was talking starting at the bottom. I mean that video. Well, look at it. Starting at the bottom, now we're at top. So at the end of the day, it shocked me that Kendrick could do something like this. You have no friend, trust no one.